The saying is, a picture is worth 1,000 words. But to the Korean Army, a group of historical photos is worth much more. Colonel Brandon Newton, the Area 1 commander, has unique ties to Korea. His grandfather served in the Korean War as a master sergeant.
My grandfather, he was one of those soldiers that actually enlisted in the Army before World War II, and he served an entire 20-plus year career as a soldier and an NCO in World War II and in Korea.
During his time in Korea, Master Sergeant Thomas Newton took hundreds of color photos with his 35mm camera. Today, Colonel Newton is donating those photos to the Korean Army to be used for historical and research purposes. The photos are significant because they will be used to more fully develop Korea's historical archives.
My grandfather took a lot of pictures, a lot of 35mm slides, and I had known that there were boxes of pictures that existed in my family for years. And then after being in Korea, I was back home on leave and I started to look through them, and I was looking at the pictures, and I could kind of make out from just holding up to the light that this was Korea. When I saw those, I was obviously excited because they were pictures of 8th Army soldiers back during the Korean War, and they were great color photos. So I tried to get them in some form I could digitize them and bring them over here to show people. Some of the ones of him standing around in front of different signs and just being kind of the epitome of the master sergeant, and cigar in his hand, he's got a .45. In a lot of pictures he's wearing loafers, and people will say, well, that's not really the uniform. And I say, well, if you were a master sergeant and you'd been to World War II and now you're in Korea, you could probably wear whatever shoes you wanted to wear. There's just a historical value to these pictures because they're color and because they were slides, they were in pretty good shape. They document some of the Katusas, the early first Katusas, and I knew that they would be a real advantage to the ROK Army and to the Korean people just from a historical standpoint. The other thing that I really thought that they would do a good job of is demonstrating just what Korea looked like in 1952. And just the change in this country, just from the landscape, the modernization is well documented by these photos. So, the pictures do a good job of solidifying this relationship that we as the United States have with South Korea. Because you've got pictures of U.S. soldiers with ROK soldiers, KSC, Katusas, ROK Army, and the people of South Korea, it shows you this unique relationship. We have to remember that it's been decades of a relationship between the Korean people and members of the U.S. military and their families. We've got this bind, I think, that even transcends just the things that we normally think of as the alliance. To understand the advances that have happened in this country, it's an amazing country. It's a testament to the people to see what South Korea looks like today after all that it's been through since 1952.
The Korean War is often thought of as the forgotten war. Sergeant Major Park Young-ju was the man who asked Colonel Newton to donate the photos, and he hopes they can be used to teach the younger generations about the significance of the war.
So young generation, they don't know about the Korean War, and then why we living well here. We think like that is Korean War is forgotten war, but the is truly happened. And then they're going to show the pictures to the young generation students. I believe when they see the pictures, I hope they really realize, freedom is not free.
Yeah, he would be ecstatic. He was a guy he was a showman. He liked to, he created these productions of slides and reel-to-reel movies that he would make everybody sit through. So he'd be very excited that people thought his photos had some, could contribute in 2018.